Hi, everybody. Can everybody hear me? Okay, good. I have already shared my screen. If you see it, Kara, can you give me a sum up? Thank you very much. Let me see. Okay, good. Since some of you have already participated in some meetings, so I will go through it quickly. I have only 12 minutes actually. So timer, Frank, please give me 8 minutes, 10 minutes, and 12 minutes. Thank you. I will go through the meeting rules from the beginning to the end. So these are the content that I'm going to cover. While you are practicing these roles in the meetings, actually you are practicing some leadership skills. For example, like active listening, critical thinking, giving feedback, and time management, and so on. Okay. So I would like to talk about the officers, members, and guests when you participate in a meeting. Before you join a meeting, that you should have the mindset. So officers and members, everybody greets the visitors. And then if the guests come to the meeting, you invite them to sign in the visitor book or give them the business card and give them the stuff, including the agenda, ballot, and handouts. Of course, it would be a good idea you invite somebody to sit next to the guest and to introduce what the meeting is going to be like and tell them they will be introducing themselves, share opinions, and give feedback at the end of the meeting. Encourage participation as much as possible. That's all the members and officers have to do. And then after the meeting, officers, for example, like MVP, president can follow up with a phone call, email, or line to ask them for their how they like about the meeting, or even if you have a photo album, you can send them the link so they can enjoy and to review the meetings. If they come to the meeting again, you can invite them to join the club. The SAA plays a very important role even before the meeting starts. You 30 minutes, arrive to the meeting room and to set up the meeting room. You prepare the agenda, banner, timer flags or boards, and guest sign book and the projector, the air conditioner and markers, refreshments, and any other equipment necessary for the meeting. Of course, you greet participants at the door and ask them to sign in. During that time, you can use the agenda to check who have attended already, because you need to make sure that if we have most people arrived, that you will inform the TME and the president to start the meeting. Then you will call the meeting to order. You lead the group or the audience to read the Pledge of Allegiance. It's kind of like a club mission. And after the meeting, you tidy up and restore the meeting room. So that's what SAA will do. If you are the president, you greet everybody, including guests. And then in the beginning of the meeting, you announce some special things in the club. For example, like achievements, somebody get promoted, or somebody have a baby, or some good things to share with everybody. And after the meeting, we invite feedback from the guests and members. They don't have assignments, so you can invite them to talk. Then, of course, you present trophies, certificates to the best performance at the end of the meeting. And if you have any announcements, upcoming events, for example, like in September, we will have a Division E outing. You can announce that and invite everybody, encourage them to join. And then you adjourn the meeting. After the meeting, you can discuss with your officers about the issues, some of the areas that you can improve. So every meeting, you learn something and become better. If you are the Toastmaster of the day or evening, then I would say you are like a director of the whole meeting. You are like a cheerleader. Make sure you bring energy to the meeting, make everybody feel fun and excited. Then you can share the theme at the start of the day, and then make sure it's inspiring, it's challenging, and sometimes motivating. And you have to introduce session masters and prepare speakers. When you introduce them, make sure you talk about their path, their level, their project title, and speech topic title, and the objectives and delivery time, so people know what to expect. And you make sure you have a smooth transition, and of course, honor every speaker. Don't just say, oh, the next speaker is blah, blah, blah. So it's not fun, and people are introduced are not so honored. If you are the timer, you are very important because you will help the meeting go smoothly. You will use some tools like timers, some timing lights or flags or boards, or even a bell. You have to introduce the timing rules because they are related to the eligibility for the awards at the end of the meeting. You have to time every speaker. For example, like prepared speech speakers and evaluators. Also, you time the session masters. For example, when you have a table topic session, if you check the agenda, it should start at 8:10, but now you delay a little bit, then you have to cut down the table topic session. And you also make sure that if you delay the meeting in the beginning, then you have to catch up the meeting later on because you have the rights to do so. So timer is very important. If you're an R counter, you have to find out the annoying fillers. What are the types of the R's, such as like words, sounds, repeated words or phrases, long pauses, or some gender misuse? In some clubs, they have a fine. For example, like if you say an R, you have to fine $1 or $5, but the maximum is $20 or $50. So that's what you can decide in your club. There is a reference sheet on Toastmaster International. You can find it out later on. If you are a vote counter, you prepare ballots, including category of the best performers, such as joke teller, table topic speaker, prepared speech speaker, most improved speaker, individual evaluator, session master. It depends on your club. You can decide how many awards you are going to give out. You distribute the ballots to each participant and collect ballots in counting during the general evaluation session. Some clubs, like my clubs, we use electronic voting system, so it will save your time, but you have to create that every meeting, during the meeting, before the meeting. Count the votes, so you can write the certificates and then give it to the president at the end of the meeting. If you are a variety session or joke session master, you warm up the meeting. So you can have games, you can have debates or songs or any interesting educational activity in the meeting. Your point is to help relax and help cultivate a sense of humor and warm up the meeting. Write a script if it's necessary. So if you need to explain the rule, make sure it's clear and everybody can understand. You can even arrange participants in advance, including assistants, if you need some people to help you in games. Do some demo before you start so everybody understands what to expect. If you are a prepared speech speaker, you can consult your ideas with your mentor, your senior members, and you follow the project guidance and pathways. You have some learning materials, you follow that and fulfill the objectives. You can mail your script to the mentor and senior members for revision. And you rehearse, rehearse, and rehearse. Make sure that you mail your script to the evaluator in advance. It will be a good idea so they can know what you are going to talk about and give you a better evaluation. And make sure that you give the evaluation form to your evaluator during the meeting or before you start your speech, and then reclaim it after the meeting. If you are a table topic session master, you can prepare 5 to 6 questions according to the time allowed. The question should be in one sentence and it's easy to understand. You can make questions related to the theme. The question type can be yes, no questions or open-ended questions, such as who, when, where, why, how, what, those questions. You explain the rule, like 1 to 2 minutes for each speaker to all. And you speak slowly and clearly, ask the question 2 times, then ask for volunteers. If nobody volunteers, then you can invite members or guests to participate. Try to invite as many as you can to speak, except for the assignment takers. If you are the table topic session speaker, it's an impromptu speech. So you have to practice how to think on your feet. It's 1 to 2 minutes mini speech. So make sure you have an introduction, body, and conclusion. And make sure you have some value in your response. It will make your answer much better. If you are an individual evaluator, you can use the kiss, kick, and kiss strategy. If you are evaluating the icebreaker speech, make sure only kiss, give a lot of encouragement. Focus on the objectives and purposes of each project, and you can use your own format and style to evaluate. Present your evaluation as a mini speech, and then make sure that in your evaluation, you cover the content and the delivery skills. Then write on the evaluation form. Give additional feedback if necessary after the meeting. If you are a language evaluators or grammarian, you can introduce the word of the day, and you have to count how many times people use it during the meeting. And in your part, you evaluate the language used during the whole club meeting, including pronunciation, enunciation, grammar, and some usage. The usage can be wrong usage or great selections of words or phrases, and some sentences or idioms and literary devices like metaphor or simile. You take notes in efficient format, so you can take as many notes as you can. If you are a general evaluator, you observe the whole meeting and take notes for details. You introduce individual evaluators and language evaluators. Some clubs, they have table topic evaluators and also evaluators evaluations. So it depends on your club design. Of course, you provide encouraging feedback, but you also point out some rooms for improvement and give suitable suggestions so the club can follow. Then your duty is very important to ensure the meeting quality. So if you are a Toastmaster club meeting, a quality meeting, I've summarized some of my ideas here. It's a well-designed agenda, a set room before every meeting, and assignment takers are well prepared ahead of time, and prepared speeches follow the project objectives, and you have encouraging evaluations, strong member attendance, guests are warmly greeted, and greet every member, great member energy, and everybody speaks. So that concludes my part. Thank you very much. Give back time to Crystal.
Thank you for the detailed explanation of each roles in a meeting. And now we got the questions for Kevin. Can
Yes.
you please give more example of table topic questions types?
Oh, Chris, like who, when, where, why, how, what is easier questions, open-ended questions. However, some people may find it it's a little difficult. For example, you can say, who do you want to meet the most tonight? For example, that's an easy question. So people can answer whatever they want. But you can also ask yes, no questions. If you have $1 billion, you will buy a car, yes or no. So you can answer yes or no, and then ask them why. If you are the table topic session master, you can invite the speakers to speak a little bit more. For example, like if the junior members or the guests, they are kind of shy. They don't know how to answer more. So you can give them some follow-up questions to solicit some more answers. I hope I answered the question.
Thank you for the answer. And there's one more question for you. Yes. What is the additional feedback after the meeting for evaluator?
In every project, actually, there are some objectives to fulfill. The speakers may have already fulfilled the objectives, but maybe they can do a little bit more. So you can talk to the speaker, for example, like the emotion used in a meeting. How do you inspire? How do you add more value and connect to the audience? That may not be in your objectives descriptions, but you can definitely talk to the speakers if they are able to do so. It depends on the speakers from your observation.
So thank you for your answer.